Hi people, welcome to Blue K Jazz Dance. This is me. Amazing photograph, isn't it? Well, it's an amazing photograph that saved my career, and a number of photographs that saved my career. I've always had a portfolio, and I've had portfolio that I created to break stereotypes about me and my culture and the art form I do. This is me dancing in an amazing festival, the first of its type, that took place in 2011. And what it is, as an individual, I am recovering from actually blood poisoning at this time. This is 2011. What happens is the last stages of my degree at university, I have to take time out to recuperate. I think it's a virus. The doctor tells me it's a virus, you don't know what it is, but it's actually blood poisoning people, unknown. What happens, I take time out 2009, and then I go to a festival to recover, to go back to university, and guess what happens? Amazing situation happens is simply, it turns out the blood poison turns up as a cyst, and what happens is I get rushed into hospital. I immediately lose a lot of weight, and I go through certain things like this, people. Can you see this? These are the type of illnesses. My face starts to get abscess, my feet swell up, because one of the things, everybody has different ways that their bodies respond to stress. Now, one of mine has been, in the past, has been my feet swell up. Amazingly, like elephant. This is not even nowhere close, because I lost a lot of photographs in a fire. But this is me, and this is what happens to my body. My body just changed because the immune system went down. Okay, and what happens is, it was lucky I was involved in this project, because what happened within a short period of time, from 2009, 2012, I had a house fire, and 99.9% of all the documentation of me dancing was lost. But I still had 1%. And what was happening in the world I'm in was people, I found there were some cruel people identifying I hadn't done what I did. Hadn't the experience that I said I had. So what happened, I immediately had photographs ready for individuals. So first of all, I was an individual that kept photographs and me doing lecture demonstrations. This is me doing my own work as a dancer. Do you understand? Right. Sharing with people. I used to do talks. I was the first dancer to start to do talks on UK jazz dancing. UK jazz dancing, umbrella term for a number of UK jazz dance styles, cultures, movements, and started to say with them north, south, east, and west. And I used to share the styles with them as individuals. Then I had other photographs showing me the first ever international environmental week that took place. I was the drummer. I was a drum teacher, and I was showing them that jazz, how did I come to drum? Because I love jazz music. Jazz music requires you to learn music, to understand music, to dance, to be a good dancer. People have got that. So I said to you, I was using photographs to keep my career alive as an individual. This is me at Oxford Brookes University. What happened, I created a program called, basically, Invest in Your Success. And these photographs I took there at university as an individual. I did another program called Yes We Can, Invest in Our Success. That what happened, we were being taught reflective practice. Many people have led in their lives, but haven't embraced it by writing on it. Writing in depth, what was unique selling points, etc. I did that for 5 years when I was at Oxford Brookes University. People got that as an individual. And that's a process of investing in your success. And investing in your success is making sure that you as individuals, understand the significance, what you do, invest in keeping photographs of your legacy in action, which I had here. So what happened, the people who were slating me never knew I had an archive, and they never knew that, first of all, I archived any ill health I've ever had. I've archived it and identified how I overcame it, because I've had long-term, 4 years, I've had long-term injuries, which I had to recover from, and brought myself back into the dance world. People got that. Now, the irony of that sort of story, when I'm talking about, I was at university, Oxford Brookes, for 5 years, and I was injured when I went there, and I decided I'm going to come back to the stage, because what happened was, dance is at the heart of cultural life in Britain, because they've done overwhelming research is showing the benefits I used to speak about as a dancer years and years ago. As an individual, I invested in doing talks on dance and its benefits beyond the dance stage. Do you understand? As a professional. And I'm here at university talking about that, about what dance does for you individually. So if you, as I was a dance leader, and I wore many hats, and that hat was dance in the community. That wasn't about making people professional dancers, that was about their health. Here again, as I said to you already, here I'm doing talks on dance. This is dance in the community. I'm trying to encourage young people to get into dance, to use dance for their health and well-being. If you want to be a professional dancer, I can help you do that as well. And so what happened, people have to remember, dancers must inspire individuals to do what they're doing. And I inspired by keeping photographs. So when I had a house fire, people never knew I had like a 1% of photographs that I put away that I knew would inspire and influence people. Because the first thing a dance leader must do when they walk into a studio, they need to inspire and influence. Now they can do it preceding walking in the studio, which happened to me, because there's video footage of me that people can see. So I send people photographs, my video, which show people I'm an advanced dance leader, I'm professional, I have excellence. And what happens, amazing story, I told you I was injured for 4 years one time, and an individual, and I was teaching, I was coaching people, but people hadn't seen me dance basically at my highest level where I was. And I remember I came to direct a production that I ended up being in at the end. And what happened was the individuals that were funding me to do that said to me, "You really can dance." I said, "Yeah, I can dance." No, you really can dance. We never knew that you could dance at the highest level of professionalism like other people from other dance companies. But I said I was a dancer. No, but we never seen you. We heard about you, but we've never seen you. We just thought you're a community dancer. We never thought you'd be the level of commercial jazz dancing, the level of commercial ballet dancing, the level of commercial contemporary dance. We never knew that you were at that level. Do you know what I'm saying? And so what happens was, that was interesting for me as an individual. So I always made sure I kept knowledge to show people that. Because young people, when they see my photographs, they realise that I'm a professional dancer. But they don't even know the extent. I'm a professional dancer of many styles. And I explored many styles. My heyday was 86. But this is another heyday in 2011. Since then I went on to do more things. In the most worst period of my time, and right irony, because I was using dance to recover mixed movement I was involved in at the Contact Theatre from 2009 to 2017 when it shut to be renovated. And what happened, it happened month to month or every 2-3 months. Month to month at first, and then every so often. But what happened was, my involvement in mixed movement saved my life. And what I said, what's happening right now, dance leadership, advanced dance leadership is a highly competitive industry right now, because dance is at the heart of cultural life everywhere. And what happens is you have to have a good portfolio. So one of the key things was, I went back to university to improve my knowledge, experience and skills in arts management, administration and business management. I ended up with a H&D in 2013. I originally was doing a degree. My whole idea was to do a degree, do masters, and then go into a PhD in dance leadership practice. Because right now, dance leadership is more than leadership now. What happens involved in every area of society. So I'm having calls from people who run small businesses. I'm now an individual who's a coach and consultant to people in small businesses in how to market themselves, how to brand themselves. Do you understand? One of the key things that's happening right now. To do that, to inspire them and influence them, I have to have photographs that show them. They want to know that I'm a person. Before, they want to know your story. I'm a person who overcame ailments. I'm a person who actually had a breakdown, and I tell the story of that. I was actually badly beaten as an individual by a bouncer and his cronies, and intimidated in the city of Bedford. And what happened, I had to leave Bedford as a self-sustained student because I was getting threatened as an individual. I overcame that, came back as a dancer, as an individual, went on to do things, invest in myself. I did continuous personal development, and I said I was never going to go back into higher education, college, go back into higher education full-time, because I was full-time in Bedford as a self-sustained student, as a leading student who had been self-trained, among dancers who had been training at the highest level from the age of 3 years old. I was among leading sports people because Bedford was a amazing sports and teacher training college for dance teachers. Yeah, and I was only two males. I was one of the best dancers among the females, and that was exceptional. You have to understand, as a dance leader, I had more experience than most dance teachers there. People had ISTD training qualification. I did not have that, but I was still equivalent in my performance. People couldn't surpass me. Many people had training certificates. That's good, but what happened was I was the best performer. One of the best performers in Bedford College when I went there, and that was outstanding. When people saw me perform, I said, you can have all the qualifications you want. At the end of the day, what happens is I'm a performer. I'm a live improvisation performer, a person who choreographs work. Your work, a dancer, I inspire people by the nature of my performing. You can have all the qualifications you want. At the end of the day, my qualification is, to me, to perform in a way that I am, means I have knowledge. And that is why a lot of people from sports environment in Bedford came to me to ask me to train them. I was training triathlon runners because triathlon runners realised that I do the same training as them as part of my training. And it was a really good environment for people to see my lifestyle, because I realised the triathlon runner's lifestyle is similar to the dancer's lifestyle, because we're responsible for our aerobic training. And I was a person that came from sports excellence, came from martial arts excellence. So when I went to Bedford, I really had a really good, strong tie with the males there, because the males who came from all sports background. Do you understand? It's just that I danced. And I talked about optimal performance. I was in an environment that was looking at optimal performance of dancers, sports people. But I took it to another level. I took it to optimal performance in everyday life for people, because I used dance as part of my healthy lifestyle to enable me to be fit, to be conscious, to be alert in my everyday life. So I took it to another level, and I introduced my 7-day-a-week program, program out in Afro Fitness for Life, which was listening to music, DJing, 7-day week. I got access to the dance studio and had programs going on. Never existed in Bedford for 2 years as an individual, and it opened a door for me because I never done that, to share it with other people in that way. I lived the lifestyle, I lived the culture, but never shared it with others in the way I shared it in Bedford, because Bedford was all about dancers. Bedford was all about sports people at the highest level, studying dance science, studying dance sports science, and never been in an environment. Swimming every day. So what happened? 6 o'clock, everybody would knock each other up and we'd go swimming. That was my life I was living. Then I'd do something here. I was next to a theatre that I did some involvement. We got to go and see theatre, dance, sports, going to trips to London, Tate Gallery. I was living in London 24/7. As a person wanting to learn about dance, I was going to musical theatre, etc., etc. 24/7. Every performance that was happening in my college, because at my college it was opposite a theatre called Bourne West. I did some placement work there. I actually lived in there, going to see the theatre, going to see dances. I've seen all sorts of types of things in there 24/7. I'd never had that experience like that, except in Manchester, because Manchester, within close proximity, we've got museums and galleries. I saw everything. So at first, as a person, I was reluctant to leave my city. The only reason I left my city to go and study in Bedford was because my city didn't have a foundation course to dance teacher training, and Bedford did. And Bedford was a leading college of dance. And it was basically a foundation course to dance and sports foundation degree. That was the best degree I went on. When you talk about destiny, it was the best one to me go on, because it incorporated me learning what was accessible to me. Was I didn't come from a traditional dance background like people 3 years old dance school. I came from a sports background who was using dance as a vehicle to be in the RAF, knowing that I wanted to be a professional dancer in the RAF, doing musical theatre. So I learned the craft of doing musical theatre, learned the craft of dance theatre, learned the craft of putting on a play, etc. Learned the craft of being an entertainer. So when I went to Bedford, it was really the right thing for me to do as an individual. It was unexpected. I didn't expect to do that. It happened after me doing a 3-year business plan for the group, a drumming group I was in, but the teacher of that group was retiring, and we no longer could continue the drumming group with his name. He was the pull, so there's no way I could have continued the business. But I had the business plan, and instead of I've duplicated myself in it, and decided, oh, let me go back and be a dancer. Because part of my work was basically with a drumming and dancing group, with me leading as arts administrator, as lead drum and dancer. What was the key thing, the weaknesses that we put up was the dancers and the drummers in the group had no qualifications. If we got qualifications, we would be an absolutely amazing group, and we could get the qualifications over incremental years of training. You know what I'm saying? So I decided to go back to Bedford and do a foundation course, to do a degree in teacher training to become a dance teacher and start my own dance school. Because what happened in my world of dance